Hello, yet again, I've changed my mind just before I started this film. I'm actually enjoying doing these little film clips. I didn't think I would, to be honest, but I am, which is good. Again, it's a beautiful day here in Coventry, in England. I know we get people from all around the world watching the clips as well, so that's why I mentioned that. My friend I was going to talk about addiction today, which is a massive topic, and then my friend Steve Neal, a good friend of mine, sent me a little video clip yesterday about a guy who was talking about discomfort and how most of our growth comes in discomfort, which is something that I've always believed. Personally, when I think about my own life, the times where things have gone wrong, the times where I've been really uncomfortable, are the times that I've grown the most. And they're the times that we usually want to give in. You know, as human beings, I really do believe this, that we crave comfort. We'll always find the easiest way. And if we look at life at the moment, a lot of the things that we're getting, the latest inventions are to make things easier, quicker. We're making life more comfortable for ourselves, which there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But for me, if we want to grow, sometimes you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You know, whether it's training. Over the years I've done a lot of training, as most people know. Tonight, I mean, it's red hot here today, but I'll be training tonight with the likes of Matty Evans and John Anderson, and it's a really tough class. There's part of me that's already, it's sort of 11 o'clock in the morning, saying, oh, don't go tonight, it'll be too hot. But I know that I'll be there, I'll put myself in a tough class with tough people, and I'll get through that session. And afterwards I'll be glad that I did. I've known myself when I've done things in the martial arts and things have gone really badly for me, where I've lost, and I have lost a few times. They're the times that I'll sit down and look at and think, okay, excuse me, what went wrong? How could I improve? Whereas if I win, especially if I win easily, then I tend to almost just dismiss it and move on to the next thing. What's next? If I lose, I'll sit down and work out why things went wrong. And it's how we learn, you know. If we look at, I've always been fascinated in the brain, in how we think, how our bodies work. And if you look at history of any sort of, anything to do with the brain, anything to do with psychology, some of the experiments and some of the things that we've, you know, the biggest learning curves are when things have gone wrong, where doctors have removed, say for example, a part of the brain and then realised, oh shit, that does this, that does that. And I know it's quite sad, but that's the way we learn. Some of these big disasters that we're having, you know, I used to be a fireman. I was looking at the big flat fires in London recently, which were horrific. That must have been horrific for everybody involved. But I know for a fact, and the public won't hear this, but afterwards the fire service will sit down, they'll look at all their procedures, they'll look at what they got wrong, and there will have been things that went wrong. They'll look at what they got right, and from a fire service perspective, that'll probably be one of the biggest lessons that the UK fire service will ever learn from. So, you know, if you look at life, I was thinking about this the other day as well, you know, when my children were born, my wife wasn't exactly, you know, lying in a hospital bed and laughing her head off. She was going through a lot of pain, as most women will testify to having a baby. I don't know how women do it, to be honest. How they put up with that pain. But at the end of going through all that pain, all that discomfort, you know, 2 times we've got 2 beautiful children. I watched people die in the fire service. I don't think I ever saw anybody just roll over and just go gladly. Most people fought till for their last breaths before they entered. I personally believe we go somewhere else. I don't know where that is. But, you know, when we're leaving one realm, we actually fight to stay in this realm. You know, so we have to go through that, almost that barrier of discomfort to learn. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. So I would say sometimes we almost need to seek out discomfort. Do the things in life that are uncomfortable for you, because that's how you're going to grow. I would also put a word of warning in here as well. Don't stay in the discomfort too long. You don't, because you'll burn out, you know. You don't, if you get too comfortable, I always say to people, if we get too comfortable, you'll rust away. You see people, I know people that just get up in the morning, maybe people that have retired. I know some people in my own life that do this. They sit down all day. They get up, sit down, watch television, have a drink, and don't do anything. Or don't do anything all day. You can gradually see them just rusting away. So you need to be somewhere in the middle. We need to be uncomfortable at times, but we also need to have some comfort as well. Recharge the batteries and then put yourself back in the uncomfortable places again. You know, if you look at anybody who's successful on this planet, however you define success, they will have had a lot of discomfort in their life. They would have been through a lot of hard times, and that's how we grow, that's how we shape us. You know, when we used to do the animal days with Jeff Thompson, he used to call it forge training, and he used to say to us, you know, you're putting yourselves in the forge here, and when you put metal into a forge, you can shape it, you can mould it, and it's the same for you. When you put yourself into uncomfortable situations, you're actually moulding yourself and shaping yourself to come out the other side a completely different person. Because it will pass and you will come out of the other side, even though it's horrible when you're in these situations. So that's the message for today. Completely different one to what I was going to talk about. Hopefully we'll get to talk about addictions another time. So embrace your discomfort, whatever it is, learn from it and move on. Don't stay in it too long, but learn from it and move on. And enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for listening.